Hey guys, it's Easter Sunday, and Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Um, so today I thought I would discuss something that's kind of on my mind right now. So when it comes to, it's a big topic, and it has been for a while, I guess, on sexuality. Um, no, I guess it's been about several years now since gay marriage has been legal. Um, I thought I would kind of give a little bit of my story about some things. Um, so, growing up, I always knew there was something kind of different about me on a number of things. One of them being that I was never really I would have crushes, honestly. Um, like for an example, my big celebrity crush is Jason Momoa, or for a while it was Hugh Jackman. But when I have a crush on someone, it's different than most people, I think. Um, there was I remember even as a kid thinking, one day when I get married, I hope I marry my best friend. Um, you know, I got told things like, oh, she's boy crazy and all that stuff, but um, I wasn't quite as boy crazy as people made me out to be. I thought guys were cute, as a teenager. Um, I thought there were some cute girls as well. I had a I had a history of pornography from an early age, and that kind of shaped me as well. And I stopped that at 14 when I became a Christian. Um, that was my first addiction I ever had was pornography. Um, so yeah, that had kind of shaped me. And the thing is, though, like when it comes to being sexually attracted to people, it's not in the same way as most people. Um, if I see I can look at somebody and say, you know what, they are very visually appealing. But that doesn't necessarily mean I want to date them or jump in bed with them or something, you know? Um, Sorry. So, in high school, I started to think that maybe I was bisexual because I was attracted to men and women. At the time, the term demisexual had not come out yet. So for years, I have thought that I was bisexual. Because of my Christian faith, I did not act on, pursuing women. There were times I came close. There were times it was very tempting. But during those times, I would pray and ask God to help me through that. And God always came through for me. And then, a friend last year, she pointed out to me, she's like, have you heard of demisexual? I'm like, no, what is that? She's like, well, it's on the asexual spectrum. And it basically means you're sexually attracted to a deep emotional bond. And I thought about it. And I think I align more with that than I do bisexual. Because I notice sexuality for me tends to be very fluid. And generally, when I am, just about every time when I have been sexually attracted to somebody, I already had established a deep emotional bond with that person. That can be really difficult. People tend to not want to date their best friends. Well, for me, that's how I am. And so sometimes I've wondered if that's part of the reason why my husband and I did not work out, is because I did not have that deep emotional bond established with him first. And I never really felt like I had it. I've done things in my life that I do regret. But there are some things that, I can't help about myself. No, there are things I can help. I can help to not act on certain impulses. I can help that, the Bible is very clear on things such as homosexuality or, adultery. The Bible is very clear on that. And I have done my best to not act on those things. So, this is kind of a difficult thing for me to talk about. Some people say, well, it's normal to, be attracted to people with a close emotional bond. Not in this way. It's not normal. Yes, it's normal that people might be like, well, I don't want to have sex with this person until I have established a certain kind of relationship with this person, or after I've married this person. But that's not what this is. It's literally, I am not sexually attracted to somebody at all unless I have that deep emotional bond first. If that deep emotional bond is not there, there's nothing there. Now, I can find you visually appealing. I can find you as a very nice person. But as far as, I would want to be with that person, whether in a sexual way or even to date that person, it's not there. It's just not. So it's not quite as simple as, well, you're just bi, or really you're just straight, or whatever. I've heard different things. Some people will even say, well, demisexuals, that's just slut shaming or something, and it's not. It just literally means, like, it's on the asexual spectrum. It's considered gray asexual because it's like on the border between being asexual and sexual. So, we are asexual in that we don't experience excuse me, we don't experience sexual attraction the same way as most people. It's just usually not there. But when it is there, It is very, very powerful, and it is very strong. I heard it described this way, like sexuality is like a door, and heterosexuals are like a push door. You know, you are pushing away the same sex to make room for the opposite. Homosexuals are a pull door, so they are pulling the same sex towards them. Bisexuals are a swinging door. They could go either way. Pansexuals are a revolving door. They can go any way. Asexuals are a brick wall. You know, there's just no going through there. Demisexuals, even though they are on the asexual spectrum, they could be any of these doors. They could be a pull door, a push door, a swing door, a revolving door, or a brick wall. They could be any of those. But there is a catch. The catch is the door is locked. And there is a key. There is a key. But what us demisexuals have done is we've taken that key and thrown it into the abyss of the Mediterranean Sea. So someone's got to eventually get the key. Now, there are people who can get the key, but not necessarily be able to unlock the door. It takes a very, very, very special kind of person to be able to unlock the door. And because that deep emotional bond is already there, when that door has been unlocked, it's something very amazing and very special. I have not gotten to experience that yet. I have not gotten to experience someone unlocking the door to my heart. I thought I did. But again, people generally don't want to date their best friends. So my door is still locked. And that's okay. Maybe it'll always be locked. Maybe somebody else will unlock it. I don't know. But, no, it's okay. I've come to the conclusion that, you know, it gets lonely. It does get lonely. However, I'm okay with being by myself. You know, before I can really be comfortable with being with someone else, I have to be comfortable with myself. And I'm getting there. I have struggled with codependency for a really long time, and it's not going to be an overnight thing to overcome. You know, I've read some books. I've been in counseling for a long time. And, you know, I am making progress. It takes a lot of hard work, overcoming a lot of trauma, understanding exactly why a person might be codependent. And as a recovering addict, that does not help either. That adds to codependency as well. I mean, my whole marriage was just a codependent mess from the very beginning. We were both very codependent. And so, no, I don't want to make that mistake again. You know, I want to be my best self for whoever I'm with, and for myself as well. But, you know, I don't want to be this codependent person where it's like, you know, I need that person. I have to have or be with that person or else I'm gonna die. Like, I don't want to be like that. You know, I want to be with someone because I want to be with them and they want to be with me, not because there's an obligation or because I feel this need. I mean, obviously, we do need people to a certain level, but not when it gets to the point where if that person isn't in your life, you're going to end up offing yourself. No, that's very unhealthy, and I've been there, and it's not good. It's not healthy. So, I've accepted that I may find someone one day, and I may not. There's a lot of guys that do want me right now. I've lost a ton of weight in a year, and I'm continuing to lose more. I suspect that I will be at my goal weight within a year or a year and a half from now, if I continue the progress that I'm making. I've lost 60 pounds. Well, a little more than 60, about 65. I got about 100 more to go. So I still have a long ways to go. But I'll get there. I'm very determined to get healthy. For myself, though. It's not to attract somebody else or anything like that. This is for me. I have to learn to do things for myself. And I'm becoming more independent as well. I went from living with my parents straight to being married, and I never got the opportunity to be on my own. Even when I lived with my parents, I never spent the night home alone. Like, I was too scared to do that. And now I'm living by myself. My husband and I, we've been separated since August, and it's April now. We're in the process of getting divorced. It hasn't been easy. I really try to make things work, and sometimes no matter how hard you try to make a relationship work, sometimes it just can't. But that's all I'll say about that. Anyway, I have not been very open about my sexuality, even when it came to being bisexual. My family, they're in ministry, and things like sexuality, unless you're heterosexual, is generally not accepted in the church right now. And even for me, I don't. I accept the person. I accept the individual. I accept them as a child of God. But, I don't accept their lifestyle either. The scripture is very clear about it. And I know there's stuff going around about there being mistranslations and stuff. And I'm not totally sure I exactly know what I think about that. I mean, I know people who are Greek scholars, being the family that I grew up in. I know a lot of people. And I've asked them questions about this. Is it true that the Greek says it's pedophilia and not homosexuality? And they will show me right there the original Greek, and from what they've showed me anyway, that's not the case. So my inclination is to say, or to think, or whatever, is that homosexuality is still considered wrong according to scripture. Now, I still love homosexuals. I don't see them any less human than anybody else. You know, they're just as human as me. We all have our own struggles. Some people struggle with stealing. Some people are habitual liars. I've known some habitual liars. And so, you know, some people are more violent than others. Some people are more inclined to sexual addiction than others. You know, that different people struggle with different things. And that can include sexuality. I believe we are born, because we are born inclined to specific types of sin. And then depending on nurture versus nature may depend on how we deal with that, or how deeply inclined we are with that. You know, if you grow up, you know, for an example, if you grow up more inclined to a sexual sin, and you grow up very, very lonely, now you may struggle with things like pornography a lot. That certainly happened with me. And I know other people that has happened to as well. But yeah, this is the first time I'm really coming out of the closet, if you want to say. I've told some people, and I remember when I first told my family in high school about me being bisexual, it did not go well. And, you know, I don't want my family to have a bad name because of me or anything. But this is who I am. This is what I struggle with. But if labeled on paper, would I say I'm bisexual? No. I would say I'm demisexual. Which I guess, if you think about it, it's a little different because, you know, at least with someone who's bisexual, while they may be attracted to the same sex, you know, they can choose to be with the opposite sex still and be just fine. While, you know, someone who struggles with same-sex attraction and only same-sex attraction, that's going to be a lot harder. Because obviously, you have these feelings and you don't want to be alone. But you want to honor God too. So what do you do at that point? I guess you evaluate what's more important to you, honoring God or giving into your carnal, fleshly desires. And that may be different for everyone. So, in a weird way, I guess I kind of feel like as a demisexual, I may have to go through that too. But for different reasons. Even though I have same-sex and opposite-sex attraction like bisexuals, like I've said a few different times in this video, most people don't want to date their best friends. most people would rather hook up on Tinder than give their best friends a chance, as I have learned over the years. So that does make things harder for me. You know, I may love someone very deeply and, you know, want to give them the world, but because I'm a best friend, that just automatically eliminates my chances. And I don't really totally understand why that is. Why people wouldn't want to date their best friends. It's like your best friend knows you better than anybody. Your best friend understands you better than anybody. Your best friend is going to care about you more than some random person on Tinder. I don't know. Maybe it's the fear that if things don't work out, the fear is you'll lose that best friend forever. I don't know. That's not how it would be for me, at least. I'm not the kind of person that just ditches somebody. I don't know. But it's okay. You know, I'm learning not to be so dependent on people. People have let me down a lot. And I've let people down as well. You know, it goes both ways. The only person who doesn't let me down is God. And sometimes it may feel like he does, but he doesn't. It's people that do. So no, it gets, like I said, it gets lonely. You know, I do feel very alone going through my divorce. I've lost a lot of people. And a lot of it is based on lies and misunderstandings and rumors and gossip and false accusations. But no, they did that with Jesus too. They did that with the prophets. Sure, they did that with the apostles. And look what happened to all of them. They were all killed. Not to say I'm going to get killed or something. Maybe my reputation. But my reputation's not worth very much anyway. So, that's okay. You know, if I have to be the villain of the story for someone else to be the hero, then fine. You know, I'll take the role. And eventually the truth will come out. But if people want to make me the scapegoat, they want to make me the villain, then fine. And again, if I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life because nobody wants to date their best friend, then that's okay too. You know, the only thing I really need to make me whole is God. And Jesus makes me whole. So, that's what I've got today. So, I hope this video was helpful in some way. Maybe. It was kind of just me getting some things off my chest. So, I guess I'll see y'all in another video. Have a blessed Easter. Bye.